From behind the redwood curtain in the heart of Humboldt County, it's the Carol Escobar Show. Tonight, 3 stepsisters
On August 3rd, the Humboldt Light Opera Company will be proud to present Cinderella. I am extremely proud to present the Stepsisters from Cinderella. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Grace, Portia, and Joy. I hear that you've been a little bit busy planning for a ball. Is this true?
It's very true. The prince is having a ball to choose a bride.
Oh, and Portia, I hear you're going also.
Yes, my mother says I will be going.
And Joy, you look not so happy to be going. Are you okay to be going to this ball also?
I'm all right. My mom says I have to go.
Well, I heard that all the women in the kingdom, well, all these single young ladies in the kingdom are commanded to go. Is this true?
Yes.
So what about your stepsister Cinderella?
Oh, she won't be going. She's staying home and tending to the fire and cooking us dinner.
She's not really our stepsister. She's more like a maid.
She doesn't count as an eligible woman for the ball.
Really? You guys don't see her as a stepsister. You see her more of a servant?
Well, she might have been our stepsister before when her dad was alive, but when her dad died, she became our servant.
Our mother was very kind to welcome her into our home. And so I think she should be happy with her position as a servant.
Oh my, okay, well, what is it you young ladies like to do around the village? I hear that it's a very happening place where you live. What sort of things do you enjoy doing in the village?
I like to go shopping.
I mostly just follow my mom around. I stay home when I can. I don't like to go out into the village.
I just like to follow my sisters around.
Portia, I have been meaning to ask you because I hear you have been writing poetry.
Yes, I wrote one poem to say to the prince when I meet him.
Do you mind if you give us a little sneak preview? Would you mind reciting your poem for us?
Oh.
I'm sorry, is that making you nervous? You seem to be scratching a little bit.
No, I'm not scratching. I'm trying to remember my poem. Oh, I remember.
Would you mind reciting it for us?
Okay. Pat the cat was very fat.
Good. Wow. That took some thought.
Don't you think he'll like it?
Sure. I think you should recite that to the prince. I think he'll be very, very impressed. Now, this prince, I hear his name's Christopher. Prince Christopher? I hear he's a pretty good-looking guy.
He is, certainly. I think he'll choose me to be his bride.
And why do you think he would choose you?
Well, I am the oldest.
And that's the only reason? You don't bring any special skills or...
Well, I am also very charming, and I have been practicing a certain laugh to perform for the prince.
And would you like to demonstrate that laugh? So you've been practicing a laugh, so you're not going to be spontaneous in your laughter. You're just going to start laughing, and you think that'll capture his attention?
Well, that way he'll know that I understand his clever wit.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So if I were to say something witty like, oh, I don't know, Pat the cat was very fat. Yeah, that ought to win the prince over. Joy, what do you do when you're not thinking about going to the ball? What does a typical day look like for you?
Oh, well, I mostly spend time on the couch trying on clothes with my sisters, or sometimes I like to boss Cinderella around if I'm feeling particularly down that day. It makes me feel better.
You feel better about bossing around your stepsister Cinderella.
Yeah.
And how does Cinderella feel about this? She doesn't seem to me like you are very welcoming and warm towards her. I've heard she's a very nice person.
She's all right, I guess. She can be kind of ungrateful sometimes to our mother, though.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure your mother's a lovely woman. She refused to be here today under the grounds that she might be incriminated in some way, shape, or form, but I'm happy to see that she allowed you all to come here today.
She has been poorly represented in the past, I believe. And we wanted to set things straight for her.
Excellent. Now, Grace, I hear that you are very well conversed in languages.
Oh, certainly.
What languages do you speak?
Well, my specialty is English, of course, but probably next would be Pig Latin.
Oh my, would you care to say something in Pig Latin?
Oh yes, I can recite the wreck of the Hesperus in Pig Latin.
Well, there you go. Now, let's have some of it.
Ave ecre, ave Hesperus he, ibe ilium way, Odsworth way, Ongfelale. It uswe ide unerske Hesperus he, at the ailed se ide intri way se, and ave Ipperske at he akent he is he ital lay otter day ute erbe im he umpanike.
Well, bravo.
Thank you.
My word, I don't think I've ever had a guest speak in Pig Latin before. That was very impressive.
Thank you, thank you.
And Joy, I hear that you are just a bright ball of sunshine.
Yes, Mother says that I need to practice my smile.
Would you care to practice your smile here today? Charming. And when you meet the prince, how will you smile at him?
Oh, I'll just look into his eyes and give him my most brilliant, beautiful smile.
And that would look like, once again, charming. And Portia, I hear that you were named after the lawyer.
That's what Mother says.
Yeah, so one can assume you're rather smart. You have a large intellect. Let's go back to the word smart. So, what is it about this ball that is so enticing? Is your mother hoping to fix you up with the prince? Is that one of your goals, is to end up with the prince?
Yes, but Mother wants us to be with anyone. If it's not the prince, then some other man from the village.
She says we have to get married by the end of the year.
We're all going to get married to someone, to a husband.
Yes.
Well, I assume you're of a good marrying age.
I think it's important that I marry first, because my marrying age will be gone sooner than the other two.
So you feel it's your right to marry sooner as the oldest?
Certainly.
Grace is getting really, really, really old.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit.
I think of it as more mature.
You're just getting really old.
Mother says it's going to be hard to find you a husband soon because you're getting so old.
You two just don't understand.
And you keep laughing so funny with snorting.
I think it's charming. Portia, at least I understand. I know what intellect means.
Okay, well, goodness. Have you been to many balls before? Is this your first ball?
I've been to several.
This is my first ball. I try to stay away from them. But Mother says I have to go to this one in case the prince decides to marry me.
And let me just ask you just a little bit more about Cinderella, because you really do seem to have some issues with Cinderella. And I'm just wondering, I've seen Cinderella. She's awfully pretty. Do you find her pretty?
She's a servant.
She looks like a mouse.
She needs to wash her face.
I'm a little bit confused as to why Cinderella is treated this way in your family. Don't you think she should become your equal?
She's not equal to us. Her father's dead, and she's not really our mother's daughter. We don't owe her anything.
So you think she should be grateful just to have a place to sleep?
Yes, absolutely.
And you feel that it's okay that she sleeps near the fireplace?
It's warm
Yeah,
there.
she'll be warm.
Yeah.
I don't think she has friends.
Yeah,
She doesn't have any friends?
No.
she doesn't get out very much.
We used to be friends. But not anymore.
So I want to thank you again for coming, because I know what busy schedules you have, because I know that you're going to be on stage telling the story of your relationship with Cinderella, and that's going to be up at the Van Duzer Theater in Arcata starting August 3rd. So I didn't know that you were all actresses also, but from what I hear, you're going to be playing yourselves, and people can come see you be the real you on stage. Did that confuse you at all, Portia?
Just a little bit.
So who do you really think will catch the eye of the prince out of the three of you?
Oh, of course I will capture the eye of the prince.
He's not gonna like you. You're gonna snort in his face again.
It's charming.
It's not charming. Mother keeps telling you to stop.
You don't understand. You don't know. You don't know. You're just quiet all the time. He can't get to know you.
Well, at least I'm not dumb like our other sister. She thinks she's gonna recite that stupid poem that she wrote.
It's not literature.
It's
Isn't
good.
gonna
I
like
wrote it
myself.
myself. I've ever heard.
And it is
Who cares,
How to
Portia?
write poetry, Portia.
I do too, Mother. I've been learning.
Well, once again, you can see the Stepsisters on stage at the Humboldt Light Opera Company's production of Cinderella. Thanks so much for being with us today. Grace,
You're welcome.
Portia, Joy, it's been a pleasure. Best of luck to you at that ball, eh?
Thank you. Thank you.
This has been a Beaver Street production.
Hot damn!